Hello again everyone. So I'm out for another quick session. It's a Saturday afternoon this time, and how lucky am I, it was only 2 weeks ago that I was fishing, and I'm back out again. I'll show you what it looks like here. Really lucky to be out here. This is my first day on my new club water, and I'm going to try fishing just with one carp rod, and I'm going to do a bit of float fishing with my granddad's old fishing gear. So well, this is the swim I've chosen. Plenty of lily pads. There's a big open space behind me just here where I'm going to try and put the float rod, plus another spot just here in front of these lily pads. There seems to be some fizzing of the fish moving about, so hopefully I can bag me a couple of fish while I'm here, maybe a carp and some fish on the float rod. Once I'm set up, I'll show you what I'm up to. So that's my carp tackle basically set up. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to fire some maize out and maybe a few maggots, a little bit of pellet just over into the area where I'm going to be fishing with my pop-up, and then I'll get the float rod set up, and I'll come back and show you how I'm set up and everything I'm doing. I'm all set up now with the old fishing gear. This is my granddad's stuff, and he's been gone about 30 years now. So this rod, the float, the reel, well, the reel's been used a little bit, but not a lot. But I mean, the rod might not have been used for however long before he died, so I honestly couldn't tell you how long it's been since it's been used, but I think he'd be pleased to know that all these years later the person that taught me to fish is using it. What I'm going to do is, before I actually do flick this out, I've just spent a bit of time getting the float set up. I'll show you what I'm using, and I've tried as much as I can to use all the original stuff that was his as much as I can, but the things that aren't his, I've got new hooks, new line, new swan shots, for all of this stuff for obvious reasons, you know, for fish safety and that. I am using one of his old floats. I've got his rod, his reel, his landing net, and some of the tackle in the tackle box, which you'll see, was his as well. Some of it's new as well that I've bought years later. But for the vast majority, on the rod rest, which has just caught my eye, the rod rest was an old FG Co rod rest. So very much a contrast here today between very modern Delkim bite alarms and very old stuff that's in a lot of cases probably very much older than me. Just hope I can catch a nice fish on it. So we start with his old landing net. You can see this is been taped back together on the grip with some old insulation tape. Again, that wasn't done by me, that was him. And I believe it's FG Co that makes this. There's the old rod rest. The light rod out right on that. Oh, there we go. This rod is a 13-foot match gold crest of Rod Reel London, and this is the old centre pin reel. From what I understand, I don't believe any of this stuff is actually super expensive even in its day. My granddad didn't have a lot of money, so he just bought what he could afford at the time. So a little bit of look around the swim. So it's just here. This is where I've got the carp rod, just a little pineapple pop up, and I'm just going to have a little go out in this general area here with the boat, see how I get on. The phone said this morning that we weren't due any rain today, so I didn't bother bringing my brolly because it is sort of getting on towards the middle of July. Looked okay, it's just started raining. So check the phone again, it says it's not meant to rain, so I'm hoping I can just sit it out and doesn't get too heavy. I've had one little tiny fish off some maggots, tiny little perch. I'll post a picture on here. So at least I'm off the mark. It was very small, but at least I'm off the mark. It's all gone a little bit quiet at the moment, so what I thought I'd do, take the opportunity to show you again what the rig is that I like using. I know it as a multi-rig, and it's a standard size 8 swivel on a piece of coated hook link, little piece of putty. There's a loop on the end which forms, that's with a figure of 8 knot, which I take the whole loop through the hair, through the eye, over the top of the point of the hook, so it hooks on like so, and then there is a bait screw on here which I put the pop-up on. So that is the general setup, and it seems to work well most of the time. There's nothing complicated about it. Everything I do is fairly straightforward. There's nothing complicated, no complicated materials to create this either, so that's what I do most of the time, as well as using standard kind of hair rigs. So it seems to work okay normally. One of the other things that I've come to like using in my carp fishing is, it's a little bit old school, but it's the Drennan continental hooks. Usually use like a size 8, and I don't know what it is about them. They seem to be really sharp, which I know most hooks are nowadays, but just really like using those continentals. So if any of you watching out there are carp fishermen, give them a try. They're not expensive. They seem to hold how sharp they are for quite a long time. Give them a try. Well, not a lot's happened here today. I've had a couple of little perch, but then a gentleman called Malcolm has helped me out. and got me going a bit more with the float rod. Put a great big worm on, and the float rod took off exactly at the same time as the carp rod. But so I've managed to sort the float rod out, and only small. However, a fish is a fish. It's in beautiful condition. Nice 6.5 pound common carp. Fantastic. What a beautiful fish. Well guys, that's about it for today. I've had a couple of little perch, little roach, and I also had that nice little 6.5 pound common. So considering I've only been here about 3 hours, not a bad little session. Certainly good for the first time on this new club water, and I can't wait to get back again. Thanks for watching, tight lines everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks now.